Hey, it's Ramley here from Extreme Lean TV, and we're here today to talk to one of my good friends, Thomas, who I met at the Lean Startup Ultimate in San Francisco last month. He told me this amazing story of how he got Rolling Three, which is this whole startup started without writing any code. So, Thomas, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
From the get-go, I just want to ask, what is Rolling Three, so that the viewers that we have online can figure out what it is.
Sure. So, Rolling Tree is a collaborative skate and art company, and everything we make and everything we do is collaboratively designed with our community. So we started off with skateboards and T-shirts, which actually are just now available for pre-sale. And yeah, so we'll continue to do different projects, art projects, skateboard projects, and then kind of projects and products that like stem from that kind of community. So, and yeah,
No,
we'll see where it goes. So,
that's perfect. And tell the viewers a story that you had of how you got it started and like the struggle you had right in the beginning.
hmm so like our first idea was, okay, of course we have to have a website. Like everybody has to have a website for whatever reason. Like there's no good reason we knew of. Why we thought that was true. Um, so like we none of us knew how to code, and we were hitting up people uh, for I don't know, like at least probably a good month, like hitting people up trying to find designers and developers, which is obviously very difficult, right? And especially when you're like have no money, you haven't made
Yeah,
any
no,
money
it's tough.
yet.
Yeah, a lot of startups they don't have money, and they're like
Yeah,
developers are expensive in San Francisco and anywhere else, right?
totally. I mean, yeah. So like, you can obviously find them potentially, but yeah, very difficult sometimes. And uh, so then like we spent, probably like a month learning how to like code a little bit ourselves to like, so we could like put up a WordPress. So like we put on hold everything we were doing. You know what I mean? Put on hold like building like our value proposition, building our community, and so like try to code ourselves. Like so that was like the next step, and that didn't really go super well. Like it was cool learning or whatever, but we weren't like experienced enough to like build anything better than a Wix page or something. Um, and so then one of our advisors, we were talking to him, Roy. Uh, oh, Pavarchik is his last name. I
Oh, I
always
know that guy. I didn't. He's your advisor.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah, so
Oh,
he's the one I connected you on Twitter with.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and so he's done like a bunch of community building stuff, and he's like, you
Yeah.
guys just need to launch a Facebook group, just to see if like if they're actually gonna participate in these ways you say they're gonna participate in. Like maybe they're gonna want to do other things besides design boards and things like that. Which we were able to validate that because, or like not validate it, but it was interesting because we saw it validated with other people. You know what I mean? Like we saw skateboarders coming online uh, and kind of like being really into like designing skateboards and things like that. So like we knew we were there into that, but again, like we didn't know they were gonna want to do it with our brand. And so basically we launched a Facebook group, which took um, like probably like a week total in planning like the strategy, planning how these projects were gonna like work out. So like we planned them, got the content ready, launched our Facebook group, all within like probably like a week or so. And then from there, like that's when our community, like we actually started like build a real community. That's actually when we started to do what we like thought we were gonna do, which is like collaboratively design stuff. Ended up being like really great. Facebook ended up being awesome, both like as a collaboration tool, like it's super easy to like tag people and like keep conversations like flowing and things like that. And also like people just know how to use it really well. You're not asking them to come to your website, learn stuff, like add your website to the like 10 websites that they always go to or whatever. So like they're always on Facebook. Ended up being really great for a lot of reasons. It wasn't perfect. We could have built some, or we hopefully we'll build something much better in the future. But it worked out awesome. People really liked it. And then yeah, the second day, or after 2 days of launching, we had like a couple companies wanting to partner with us and things like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was all off a Facebook group, and like basically like what I was talking about before with you was like we didn't have anything, you know, like we had like in a way we had 500 people in our group in the first 5 days, and we had really engaged community. So like we did have that. That was like really huge. But these other brands that wanted to partner with us had way bigger communities, you know,
Nice.
and like really all we were doing is like building, like a Facebook group, super simple, didn't take that much. We still needed kind of like the design thinking process of like how we were going to collaboratively design our stuff. So like that was a little bit added on, but it was just like really interesting to see like, oh shit, like it did not take much in terms of obviously like
Yeah.
building it, to like get it off the ground and to start building community and like actually build something, So even though I said it was, but it is, it is something, I guess.
Yeah, with the whole like lean thing with build, measure, and learn, people think building you have to code, but if there's already an existing platform out there, you don't have to reteach everything about your platform to your customers, which you guys exactly did. But you did face some challenges, right? Like you had to give clear instructions on your cover image. Can you talk a little bit about just like what kind of things you did to make sure that the community culture was being cultivated by the instructions you gave out?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, the cover photo is huge because it's like in the Facebook group is the first thing you see. So we were able to like use it as like the header of our website or something, basically. Kind of like the place where people learn like what's going on, like what has already happened, and then like what's going to happen. So that was really huge for us, and then we like updated that constantly based on like what phase we were in and things like that of our design process. And then we'd also have like a pin post. So like in a Facebook group, like that's another feature that you can have to like keep something like up at the top. So we use like pin post just to give like more extensive direction. So like
Nice.
in the cover photo it said like see pin post for more details, and we had like 9 JPEG assets where we just like explained more about what was going on. So like that ended up being really great. And then we do like just customer development, talking to like our community all the time. Be like, do you get this? Like, does this make sense to you? And then it's kind of just like having them talk about like what they think when they get on the group, and just like let them talk about like what do you think when you get on the group? What do you look at? Where do you go? And just talking to them about their experiences and things like that. So
That's good. Definitely good. How did you get them to start collaborating? Like you must have like you have 500 users, but just letting them go off in the wild might not be a good idea. Did you like start posting up ideas on how you can collaborate, or did you like start suggesting certain things?
Yeah. So we broke up our design process into like what we called like scheme, design, evaluate, like create, basically. So just like like brainstorming first, like throwing out any like inspiration, ideas, and things like that, and then like from there, like everybody has kind of this pool of stuff to look at, go through, get ideas from, and then basically, like I forget how long we did it for our first round of projects, but like do that for like a week or two, and then we jumped into design where everybody would like post their concepts, and then like the whole time through that design you could improve your concept. So you post your concept the first day, and like you can keep improving it, collaborating with people like all the way through until the end, where we pick like our top 5 that we say, okay, here are the top 5, let's like figure out which one we want to actually make. And like throughout that process, like basically somebody would post their design in like Facebook group. Everybody knows how to interact. Everybody knows how to hit people up. So it's like easy to like, hey Ramley, like this board is like yours that you posted. Like we should do a hangout. So like people would start to like start hangouts just by themselves because like they were doing similar types of boards. just like bringing them together and just giving them a little bit of direction, I think. And like this is something that is totally not scientific by any means. Like so, OpenIDEO is doing like the design thinking stuff, and they're collaborating on like huge world problems. And I think like they have like a model as far as like actually collaborating and building stuff together, like on in an online space. I think they're like have one of the best models so far. It's like huge question, huge thing to tackle is like to get all these people to, like collaborate and make things that they wouldn't have together, or like separately. I don't know. Is that kind of?
No, no, it definitely makes sense. It's just I think people just I think a lot of companies and a lot of startups they just throw up a Facebook group and like hope for the best. But really really like how you had a model and you had a process to walk them through the design process. So they're really engaged throughout the whole time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and what was actually kind of interesting about the Facebook group is although we had this cover photo and we had the pin post telling them, there was still madness happening. People would be like, "Hey, check out my skate video," or "Hey," like whatever it was. So
How did you control that? I'm curious because that's another thing. Another product hunt is what Ryan Hoover has done is they've made it exclusive to invite only to people who Ryan thought would be would contribute to the community. But with a Facebook group, it's hard to control that, right?
mhm. Yeah, and we just went with like all inclusive
Hmm.
idea, so just like anybody can come and things like that. So um, your question was like kind of how do you moderate different things?
Yeah.
Like
How do you make sure that the quality of the discussion, the quality of the collaboration is to the level that you want it versus just like a full madhouse.
uh-huh. Um, so it's a lot of judgment calls, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure.
and
That's the thing with startups.
yeah, and so like it kind of sucks. It like sucks taking somebody's post down. Like that
Yeah,
really
I know.
like, you
Mm.
don't want to do that. Like you don't want to do that as much as possible. You know what I mean? Um, just because that sucks. But if it was like totally didn't add value or it like we thought it should be taken down just to like keep everything clean, like we'd for sure make sure to like hit them up and like start a conversation with them. You know what I mean? And like make sure that everything was like clear and they understood why we did it and things.
That's awesome. Definitely awesome. Now, do you have any other like ending tips that you have for anybody that's a startup that's trying to create a collaborative community like you guys? Like, is there any thoughts, any more advice that you might have for them?
Yeah, I mean, do it. Like I say, do it. Like you won't regret it. It's uh, basically by involving your community. Not only are they going to feel a part of it, you're going to get stuff out of them. That's what so much of the stuff is, like the customer development stuff is like, what do you think? You know what I mean? Like I have these ideas in my head about what a product should look like or whatever. But if you actually get your community involved, which they'll love to. Like your early adopters, they will love to. Like that's the whole thing. Is like we have the opportunity to let people in, and that can be so fruitful. And this whole idea of like making this product behind these like closed doors is just it's just stupid in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like
Nice. Yeah.
that. That's how we always did things forever because we didn't have the internet to collaborate, but now we do. And like if you think about just like fanboys or like any true like passionate community member or whatever, like the feeling of wanting to be like the fly in the wall and like the product meeting or something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I could just hear what they're saying and maybe like add value or whatever, it allows people that really want to hear what's going on, really want to like be a part of it, to be a part of it, and then like they will add things. The more that you organize them in interesting ways, the more good stuff is going to come out of it. But just by letting them in, like awesome stuff's going to happen. So
That's awesome, Thomas. Thanks so much for your time. I know I caught you last minute. Obviously, like just caught you like you're on the go somewhere, but
no
man,
worries at
always
all.
always good hearing from you. I'm
Yes.
that's it for this Extreme Lean TV episode. Thomas, you can stay on the line. I'm gonna stop the broadcast, but we can keep talking after this.
Deal.
All right.